What up? It's your boy T-Bear here in reaction. So I got a little bit of time. If I had to probably stop in the middle of it because I got to do I need to do right now, I will do that and finish it all later on today. But it's been a minute. I did been weeks. I done a Films Friday 1 and one with Demi Kill Count as well too. And I was going to do this week. I was probably going to do a poll, but I saw what was going to come this week. I'm like, no poll needed. We're going to check out the kill count for the third installment of one of the most awesome horror franchise going on of the new era, that is Terrifier 3. You know the Terrifier theme, not only just for the movie itself, but the hardcore graphic practical effects and gruesome gore as well too. And you know this one, just like I'm doing Terrifier 2, I will do a two-part with a version with just the Demi Kilka, and I'm gonna do a version that's gonna include the Demi Kilka and a Carnage Count reaction to it to see the kill count, the kills, graphics uncensored as well too. The uncensored one gonna be a part of the subscription. So that I'm gonna try to do as much I can as one till the wife and son get here, and I gotta go do what I need to do, and I'll finish the rest later. Other than that, let's get it.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Terrifier 3, released in 2024. While the first Terrifier became a cult favorite years after it was made, the second film blew up immediately, grossing $15 million despite an unrated release and a budget of less than $1 million. Terrifier 2 was also a much better movie, with an actual story and an all-time final girl. All that is to say, this threequel had a lot to live up to, and I'd say it succeeds. If you like the second movie, there's no reason not to enjoy It's got more bloody hijinks from Art the Clown, one of the most sadistic killers we've ever seen, played once again by David Howard Thornton. It's also got more Sienna Shaw, a returning Lauren Rivera, Art's
she returns, nice.
Whose mental health has unraveled since the events of the second film. T3 takes place 5 years later, a helpful time jump since Terrifier 2 took place in 2018. It's also an interesting way to look at how the characters are living trauma half a decade later. Short answer, not great. While the first two films took place during Halloween, Terrifier 3 is a Christmas movie.
Here it comes, Artie Claus. Here it comes, Artie Claus.
It's a fun choice by writer-director Damien Leone, who also returns as co-producer, editor, and sometimes special effects artist. He continues to hone the franchise, cutting down the second movie's bloat and cluing the audience in a bit more when it comes to lore. I mean, it's still confusing, don't get me wrong, but it's starting to take shape, and Leone's already said the fourth and final film will give us the answers. Maybe that movie can have a little more variety too. Sometimes T3 feels like the second movie with simple substitutions. Sienna's mom and brother are largely replaced by her aunt, uncle, and cousin. Art swaps out his supporting cast too, replacing the pale girl with Victoria Hayes, who is way more gross. Wait, hold on. Didn't the little girl poop all over that wall? You know what? I think Victoria still takes the crown. These movies are disgusting and clearly not for everyone. While the acting continues to improve and downright impresses me sometimes, this cast is great, the story and characters are still pretty much in service to the special effects. You might scoff at that, and that's fine, but exploitation films and grindhouse movies have always existed. We need them to find what the
I'm telling you right now, I would never ever watch or react to anything that got to do with human centipedes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Don't even ask. That's none off limits along with Purge, any Purge movie. So don't ask.
Boundaries of good taste are by sometimes towing into bad taste. I don't like everything I see here, but without subversive work, we risk media becoming homogenized, and that's not fun at all. I think of this series as the gore porn version of John Waters or Frank Henenlotter work. It's gross and offensive, but I don't think it's really hurting anyone, you know? It's just fun to watch for sick fucks like us. And of course, extra sick fucks can enjoy the
Oh my God!
For only $1. As always, I hate doing it, but videos like this are the tent poles of dead meat. We've got to play by YouTube's rules to keep the algorithm happy and this video monetized, even if we do have a sponsor.
This why I have to. This why I will for those who want to see the grower, I'll play, and hopefully bless will change. I will have a version of this out for a while for free, but until for free, but I will eventually maybe put in the membership segment as well too for a quick second. Other than that, let's keep going.
Speaking of which, you know what's crazy? I've spent years struggling to find a therapist. Seriously, I only just got set up with one. It probably took me so long because I wasn't using today's sponsor, ZocDoc. I don't have to tell you that finding a doctor is hard, and there are so many that you have to find. From general practitioners, to dentists, to dermatologists, to therapists. I mean, the list goes on, but that's where ZocDoc comes in. It's a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality,
a nice little fee for ZocDoc. I've been hearing about this.
Book an appointment from their 100,000 plus doctors across all kinds of specialties. Of course, finding doctors isn't the only issue, right? Because then there's the wait to actually be seen. I know so many people who have had to go months and months before being able to have ongoing issues addressed. But not only does ZocDoc show you actual appointment openings, it shows many that are available within 24 to 72 hours. So whatever kind of doctor you need, you can stop putting off those appointments by going to ZocDoc.com/killcount to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/killcount. ZocDoc.com/killcount. What kind of jingle hell will Santa Claus unleash when he comes to town? Let's find out and get to
Oh boy!
The movie begins on Christmas Eve, where not a creature is stirring.
There's someone on the roof.
Except for some guy on the roof, I guess. Jennifer puts her daughter Jules back to bed and leaves some milk and cookies out for old Santa Claus. But it ain't Big Red who pays a visit that
You better not do anything to that little kid.
at night. I mean, for one, he ain't husky enough. This mean one's holiday haul includes a hatchet. Oh no. And Jules watches as he heads upstairs to deliver that gift to her brother. But we just saw Timmy, and you know, he's just a kid, so I don't think Art would.
Juliet, I told you to stay out of my room.
You already know I'm pissed off already. You got Art killing kids now, really? I mean, I think he did something the machine gun thing. The cereal. Oh God, I forgot he did kill that kid in the second one with the cereal, the class cereal. Oh God. But either way, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. That is fucked up.
Okay, never mind. Doesn't stop a thwack attack. In fact, 7 thwacks of increasing squishiness take that kid out off screen. Creator Damien Leone knew Art wouldn't hesitate at kitty carnage, but thought showing it on screen would be one step too far.
At least he didn't do that, but still, that's fucked up.
I don't think any subject is too taboo to tackle, but I think if I decide that I am going to tackle it, then I have to be somewhat sensitive in regards to the execution, or making.
I hope that brothers are safe on this one, as I'm gonna say.
Making sure that the execution of such a topic remains tolerable.
Don't worry though, we see the Timbits later, strewn all over his room. Next up on Father Kilmiss's list is dear old dad. While he's sleeping, Art hacks into it. It's even more thwacks than his kid. Can't call him whack for laughing.
Oh, God!
All that tally thwacking wakes Jennifer up and she starts screaming in earnest.
Asshole.
Damn, she's good at screaming.
Woo!
I'm sure it helps when Art Torrance is busting through the bathroom door. Here's
Art! I was gonna say it!
Fox, who's actually a really good friend of ours. She's a great actress and producer of indie horror films alongside her husband, Spider-Man. They recently made Little Bites, which features a quick cameo from Chelsea and me, playing parents to Chrissy's real-life daughter. Jennifer faces the trauma of seeing her young son in pieces before Art catches up to her and plants his axe head in her back, and then her stomach. Art relishes the moment, and then lining up his shot and getting to the serious work. He dismembers her.
Lord have mercy.
Her head in two. Come all ye faithful plays. Art has a snack and even does the dishes. Aw, that's nice. But on his way out, he hears a stirring. It's Jules hiding in a cupboard, and Art's a little too happy to see her. Realistically, I think Art probably kills her, but we don't know for sure because he's thankfully interrupted by a title card. I won't count Jules in case she ever comes back for revenge or something, but yeah, I know it's unlikely. Pretty sure Art's standards are lower than Michael Myers.
You got that right.
And Chucky, who at least had a quorum to discuss the issue.
Well, let's just say nobody under the age of 5 or 6. Fair enough?
We jump back in time.
Yeah.
To the aftermath.
Because you killed a little kid in the Exploding Hallows.
Terrifier 2. A cop comes across Art's freshly decapitated corpse, so I guess this place is supposed to be the Terrifier from Terrifier 2? In any case, the clown still got some kick in him, and his headless corpse strangles Officer Evans, who valiantly shoots him a few times. It cuts away, but the cop's kill is confirmed when we see Art get on the subway sporting his head, looking like a Spirit Halloween mask left out in the sun too long. Don't worry, Pigeon Lady, nothing to see here. Art's destination is the last place we saw in T2, the mental hospital where Chris Jericho plays a guard. Drink it in, man! A scream takes Bert to check out Victoria Hayes, where he finds, oh my god, what the fuck? What? I can't even take in what's happening here. They're suckling and slurping and biting.
Hey, yo. Slurping and slurping and bite? Hey, yo.
Oh man, it's real bad. Kinda makes me want to puke. Jericho too. If you recall, Terrifier 2 ended with Victoria giving birth to Art's severed head. That abominable act of nature was discovered by a nurse, who is now seen killed. Art's head is feasting on the poor woman's face, and he's digesting it into Victoria's mouth, maybe? I hate it. Whatever the fuck's going on. The rest of Art's body joins them and distracts Burke, who gets stopped and dropped like the walls of Jericho. The villains grip into his face and open top to bottom. My god. He will never, ever look the same again. For this guild, they used a fake Jericho head, kayfabe Jericho head, whose jaw was pre-scored so it could be ripped off.
I think it would be cool if even if he pulls it off and it's like...
Oh my god, I got rich so because I told you I'm doing the Carnage count for this as well too as a bonus. Oh god.
Oh man, that is some thick chocolate syrup with blood right now. All that murder has made a mess of Art's outfit, so it's a good thing a clean-cut cosplayer joins their train car.
I was gonna do the blood thing too, but I was just worried about the cleanup.
The next time we see Art, he's rocking the dude's duds, and based on his track record, I'm guessing he didn't politely ask for them. Art and Victoria find an abandoned house to make an abandoned home. She makes friends with her ratty roommates before praising her new look in the mirror.
He used to be so hot.
I know.
Now no one's gonna fuck you.
She doesn't like it. Victoria settles in for tubby time, while Art takes a seat in the attic. They go into hibernation, a quick and simple way to explain their whereabouts for that 5-year time jump. Bringing Victoria back was important to Leone, who said his biggest regret about the first film was not fleshing out her character. Hate to tell you, dude, but I think you failed again. She's still missing way too much skin. In present day, 2023, Sienna Shaw is being released from a recovery center. Its staff includes a cameo from Marie Macer, who appeared in the original Terrifier short. Sienna's been getting help after everything she went through. You know, the whole thing where her mom and all her friends got murdered. Oh, and also, she got murdered herself too, kinda? Yeah, that was a rough Halloween. Thank God it's high time for Yuletide, and she'll be spending the holidays with her Aunt Jess and Uncle Greg. It's a welcome change of pace from her yelly mom, especially since she's got a sweet relationship with her cousin Gabby. The two unpack her stuff, but when Gabby finds her diary, she starts asking awkward questions.
What's the clown cafe?
Ah, man, kid, there was like a song and like a blowtorch. It was a messed up place, okay? Sienna has a photo-induced flashback to a conversation with her late father, Michael.
You only draw boys. Boys, boys, boys.
That's not true. I draw girls all the time. That is a girl right there. Look at that.
Wait, Kid Sienna looks too much like Gabby, except she's got bangs. Kinda like her aunt, another brunette with bangs. It's starting to feel like Malignant up in this bitch. I mean, I know Damien casts a certain type, but we can switch up the dudes every once in a while, you know? Michael promises to sketch his daughter a proper heroine, and you can tell she really looks up to him. This is our first time seeing Sienna and Jonathan's dad in the flesh, though he was frequently mentioned in the last film. Remember, his notebook had drawings of Art and Sienna's Final Girl armor. Here, he's played by Jason Patrick, last seen on the kill count as Michael.
Wow!
Yeah, that one. As Sienna finishes settling in, a demo crew pulls up to
let me see real quick. Wow! Oh, I didn't recognize him. Wow.
He was frequently mentioned in the last
glasses.
Remember, his notebook had drawings of Art and Sienna's Final Girl armor. Here, he's played by Jason Patrick.
Yeah, that's him. Wow.
As a different Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, that one. As Sienna finishes settling in, a demo crew pulls up to that abandoned house from earlier. Veteran employee Jackson tries to spook newbie Dennis, but this guy's seen his share of scary movies.
Ketchup.
That's him?
Just like my mom puts on her spaghetti, baby.
The two split up to search the house. Jackson finds Victoria looking like Tub Girl, except maybe not as gross. I don't know, it's a real toss-up there. Don't Google that. Props to returning actress Samantha Scafidi for coming back for all this shit. Jackson goes in for a closer look, and she springs back to life, stabbing him to death. Bad luck, but the gnarlier death is reserved for Dennis, who finds Art in the attic doing a Black Christmas reference. Always love to see it. The clown comes back to...
And speaking of Black Christmas, for the first remake, Oh, I took it down. But R.I.P. to Michelle Trachtenberg for that.
Life and chucks Dennis aside and pins down one of his hands, biting the fingers. Victoria appears and, dude, honestly, I can't even describe to you what she's doing. And consider that. It means it's way worse than this. Art caps off the kill by giving Dennis a box cutter haircut before freaking unpeeling his face like a banana. You know, you never get used to gore.
It's gonna be.
Leone handled most of the.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a whatever when they show the. Don't tell me about look at that little girl because that's the what's the name of it.
Effects, but Terrifier 3's increased budget meant they got to hire a dedicated team of artists. A lot of the gore was done by.
Oh man, got rest up for this current
special effects
count watch with the uncensored one.
From Westworld to Renfield to No Country for Old Men. Tinsley also received an Oscar nom for his work on another torture porn film, The Passion of the Christ. For Terrifier 3, they resculpted Art's prosthetics based on a mold of David Howard Thornton's face. This differed from the first two movies, where I guess they were still using a mold made from the original Art actor, the one from the projects that don't really get talked about anymore. The custom face pieces allowed Thornton a wider range of expressions. While Art's jumping right back into it, Sienna's having a harder time readjusting to civilian life. Sure, Gabby thinks of her scars like Marge Simpson thinks of potatoes.
I just think they're cool.
But she can't even have a nice family dinner without a trauma interruption. It's a hallucination of her friend Brooke from the last film, blaming Sienna for her death. Man, she is bubbling and babbling blood like a blasted brook. Oh, hey, that's her name. I get it now, Brooke. Sienna leaves dinner for a drug dessert and calls her brother Jonathan, who's a college freshman now.
Wow.
So fast. He's actually a big reason Terrifier 3 has that 5-year time jump. Leone wanted to account for how much older actor Elliot Fullman looked. Like his character, Fullman's also had a busy 5 years, making music on his YouTube channel, Little Punk People.
Okay.
He started it way back in 2012, doing interviews with horror actors and musicians. Awesome work, man. Sorry for joking about your neck in the last kill count. Jonathan's roommate Cole is a pretty cool guy, but his true crime podcaster girlfriend Mia is substantially less chill.
I seriously know, like, everything about you. Everything online, at least. I've been following you for years, and dude, you're a legend. You survived Art the Clown.
Just like Sam Carpenter in Scream 6, Sienna's the subject of internet conspiracies that pin her as the culprit behind the Miles County massacre.
Wow.
If Jonathan Shaw hadn't testified on his sister's behalf, she'd probably be serving a life sentence right now.
That's a cameo from comedian Annie Letterman, who previously interviewed Leone for Terrifier 2.
I've gotten confirmation I will be in the third.
You got confirmation?
Nice.
Well, I keep being told in front of cameras.
Art's living up to his name with some him and crafts, creating a liquid nitrogen spray tank that he tests on a rat. Ratsicle. And it's meat flavored, yum! Now with extra meat. He takes his
I'm not surprised he's into cruelty to animals.
invention to a bar full of festive patrons.
Can I join the Mile High Club? Oh my god.
I'd fuck you.
No, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, damn, I forgot he's on this.
My wife's dead.
Art bowls the girls over on his way inside. They don't realize it, but they're probably the luckiest people in this.
You got that
franchise.
right.
Art shows childlike excitement over this mall Santa, who plays along and swears he's the
Yeah,
real
the
deal.
Santa looks familiar, but you're well. Santa definitely looks familiar, but the other guy, that's Ron Howard's brother. I forgot his name is. Who's a horror vet too.
Guilty as charged.
Though bartender Eddie is suspicious, Santa and his buddy Smokey treat Art real nice. They call him Clowny and even buy him a drink, T-Pain style.
It's Clowny Claus.
Yes, it is. And Clowny Claus was in fact the iteration of Art that competed in this year's Horror Royal Rumble, which no, I will never stop plugging, because if you've actually watched it, then you understand how great it is. Thornton has said this was his favorite week on set, and it's probably my favorite scene in the movie. That's largely thanks to the performers, 2 of whom are kill count vets. Santa is played by Daniel Roebuck, who's been on the show 3 times. He's a part of the Rob Zombie gang.
Oh, okay.
Is the ice cream man himself, Clint Howard, who
Clint
is
Howard.
also in another Christmas horror franchise. But while this scene is funny and a lot of fun, it's here to remind you that Art's a mean guy.
Hold on. Alright, you Bobby mad. Well, good thing I put it on. We're gonna hold the craziness for now, and we're gonna run it back a little bit, but we're gonna hold the craziness for now. This one, I'll be right back. I'm back. What a long day I had as well. So we're gonna finish the rest of this as well too. Pretty much like Films Friday is gonna pretty much be on this Saturday. So sorry I'm giving you a films. Supposed to be Films Friday. Usually is a Saturday, but long day. At least you're getting me some Demi Kill Cut, and on your day you're getting Terrifier.
It's here to remind you that Art's a mean guy. It's just like the opening scene in that regard. Leone didn't want people to find Art cute or cuddly.
I didn't want the audience to be too comfortable with this character. I wanted to make it as if they never met him before and see how creepy I can make him again, and how disturbing and how unpredictable, and really just set a new sort of standard to keep the audience on their toes if possible.
So, despite Santa and Smokey's kindness, Art gets gross in a hurry, spitting up shots and being in laps. Ew! He's such a Scrooge. Eddie tries to kick him out, but Art resists with Old Reliable from his Santa sack.
Oh!
Yep, a shot to the neck for Eddie and one to the head for Smokey. Although he's best known for his torture, Art's never been above a simple gunshot.
Damn!
Mr. Claus is the last man standing, and all he wants for Christmas is to not fucking die.
Johnny, we're in the same business. It's just me and you, remember? It's just me and you. We're in the same business. We make people happy.
That improvised line from Daniel Roebuck doesn't work on Art, so Santa offers up his outfit as a peace offering. That doesn't save Santa either. He gets tied to a chair while Art tries on his new festive digs. Then he breaks out the liquid nitrogen tank for a kill we analyzed in our halftime show with Oz Perkins and freaking Elijah Wood. Check that shit out. I'm telling you, man, we do a lot of fun stuff on Dead Meat Presents. Santa attempts to appeal to Art's better nature.
I have a wife and 2 kids.
But Art just responds like Pee-wee mocking Francis. Right about when the guy starts naming his grandkids, Art starts blasting his limbs. He goes until they're frozen through, then bashes them with a hammer. He saves the head for last, and after freezing it, like so many forgotten ice cream cartons, he destroys the dude's face. Oh, man, his eye is still moving. Please just let that poor Santa Claus die. Art nabs himself a prize, echoing an earlier line.
If Santa doesn't have a real beard, he's not a real Santa Claus.
And finally, in classic Art overkill, he caps it all off with a frosty flourish. The next day, Sienna and Gabby go Christmas shopping at
this card count bonus I'm gonna give y'all is gonna be torturing me. I'll tell you right now.
Okay. Or picking out gifts.
The things I do for y'all. Not saying it's a bad movie. Just it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Gory.
It portends the appearance of Art, who's walking around in disguise. But Sienna's got that PT Santa D, and maybe smells Art. I'm sure he smells awful. So she recognizes him, has a quick cry, and heads home early. Art, on the other hand, is just getting started. When the local mall Santa goes on break, Clowny Claus takes over. Seems to really dig the throne, and the job itself.
Hey, Santa's handing out presents! Yeah!
Nothing could go wrong. Actually, it is both sweet and hilarious seeing Thornton with the kid actors behind the scenes.
You did enough with the kids. Please, no more kids.
Art spreads Christmas joy until a freaking Paul Blart kicks him out of the chair. But he's fine with that. He left behind a very special gift that one human Glenn-looking kid opens.
I wonder what I got. Hurry!
Oh! Holy shit, this bomb explodes and kills at least 4 people, including 2 kids, alongside a mom and the mall Santa returning from his break. A later news report puts
I'm not surprised. I'm saying it so many times for a Terrifier movie, but that is fucked up. Jesus.
It's the death toll at 5, so I'll trust it and add one more from all those parts we see. A shaken Sienna pays Jonathan a visit at college. They're interrupted by Cole, which is fine, until Mia pops in to invite Sienna onto her podcast. It's a great chance for Lauren Lavera to show us how fraught Sienna's become.
Can't you act like a human being for one fucking second?
While Lavera was a co-highlight of Terrifier 2 alongside Thornton, her character hadn't gone through as much, so she mostly had to play simpler shades of sad, scared, and kick-ass. Here, she's got half a decade of trauma in the tank, and she puts it all on display. This woman is a bona fide star, and I promise we will see an impressive career out of her. Jonathan says that he's trying to move on, angering Sienna to the point where she hits and yells at him. It's reminiscent of their mom, and shows how the cycle of abuse can continue in families. Thankfully, Sienna is aware enough to stop that shit right away, and instead tries convincing Jonathan with words. His words. She reads him a letter he wrote that sounds like he was trying to DM a campaign by mail.
We have to destroy the little girl before it's too late, Sienna. Destroy her because she's inhuman, a demon.
Back when all this shit first happened, Jonathan did some demonology digging, so settle in for some art lore.
Sometimes demons try to enter our world, only they can't do it alone. They have to choose a vessel. someone recently deceased who functions as a bridge between worlds.
It's a little confusing, but I think I've got it. And Damien Leone confirmed my summary in our interview. Basically, when we first met Art back in Terrifier 1, he was a mortal man, your average serial killer. Okay, maybe above average, but still, he was just a dude who wound up getting killed. So actually, turns out my counting him was legit. Thank you! His murdered body became a vessel for a demon to inhabit, which happened in the morgue. And the demon is who we watched in Terrifier 2. When this demon comes to exist in a mortal form, so does a counterpart, a force of good in the world, which is Sienna Shaw. She is the chosen one. I get a little more confused when it comes to Victoria Hayes, who Sienna says is also a host for, I guess the pale girl from the last movie, who's like a different demon? I'm not sure. Wait, also, how does Sienna even know Victoria is running around? Has she been watching this movie too? Confusing lore or not, at least Leone's offering something for people who want more story to dig into. To fight her nemesis, Sienna's gonna need her magical sword that was gifted to her by her father. But she buried it at the Terrifier ride after using it to cut Art's head off, so she has to go and get it, which she does off screen, because now all of a sudden she has it. Gift wrapped, lest any nosy cousins try to take a peek. This beat confused me the first time through, mostly because we didn't see her retrieve the sword. I'm sad we don't get to see the cool Terrifier setting from part 2, but maybe they just couldn't shoot at that location again. Jonathan, meanwhile, stays behind at school to question his sanity and break stuff.
Oh, Lord.
Little does he know, a merry prankster just pulled up outside his frat house to wreak some holiday havoc. I love that Art's got a utility van, much like another Killer Santa in Christmas Evil. Art stalks the halls for his prey, but gets waylaid when he overhears Mia and Cole talking about him.
I want to know what it's like to be in the presence of that kind of evil.
You about to get what you wish for, girl, because Jesus Christ.
I love all of Art's little mannerisms here.
What does he smell like?
He hears Mia glazing him for being the most famous serial killer, so he decides to make her wish come true and make her his next art project. It happens after a shower scene. Forecast, extra steamy, streamy too. And I ain't talking about internet awards. I'm talking Art. Okay, now you're just playing with it, man. Art pulls a chainsaw from his Mary Poppins purse and delivers an amped up homage to Psycho. He cuts off a part of Cole's hand, leaves him looking like he's saying, "Now listen here, you." He cuts into Cole's leg, which breaks when he tries to step on it. Oh God. That leaves Art free to go absolutely ham on Mia. He carves her up and even takes off some of her scalp. Then he just, man, slams that chainsaw over and over into her face. He gives her what she thought she wanted, a close encounter with the Miles County Clown. Then he gives her some shades and finally kills her by chopping her in half. Man, it's hard to know where to start and stop these skill graphics sometimes. You're so extra, Art. Art turns his attention back to Cole. Let's go ahead and just rip that leg off. Gender bent.
Oh my God! I don't even want to know what the fuck he just did. But I would find out what the courage count.
He messes up his face and limbs, because, you know, why the hell not? And here we have it, folks. This movie's big climactic showcase kill. On top of the obvious Psycho influence, this close quarters chainsaw scene was also an homage to Scarface, as well as a scene from the American Psycho book. Art celebrates by making a blood angel on the floor. Damn, man, in a communal shower, you're gonna get a staph infection. The whole scene is set to It's a Terrifier Christmas, an original carol composed for the film by John and Al Kaplan, who also made Silence the Musical, which, yes, is a musical version of Silence of the Lambs.
Hannibal the Cannibal.
Back at the Shaw home, festivities are underway. The holiday cheer dries up thanks to a very official-looking news broadcast about the mall bombing. Since Greg doesn't know how to channel surf, Sienna watches long enough to see the Savini cameo. It really freaks her out.
Sex machine!
She starts shouting about Art the Clown, but her traumatic past leads her family to dismiss her claims. Still, to ease her mind, Greg agrees to go pick up Jonathan. But by the time he gets there, J-Man is sounding a little different.
Jonathan, can you hear me?
No.
I'll be right there.
No.
Just put Sienna down for a nap, where she has another flashback to that scene with her dad. In it, we see Michael present the lady character he promised her. It's an angel warrior with a flaming sword. Thankfully, not the chariot of eyes kind of angel. When he tries to hand the painting over, he has a vision of his daughter's future trauma. And, you know, maybe it opened him up to some kind of possession or something? Because we know thanks to Brooke that by the end of his life, he became abusive. But that also could have just been mental illness. Sienna suddenly finds herself in a fiery void where a chained up demon is forging her armor in a little gimp suit. And that guy's chained up by a sentient Virgin Mary statue? What? I don't know what's going on here, but it's metal as hell. Feels like something out of Mandy, which is a huge compliment. This demonic vision was done by effects artist Jason Baker and his team at Colossum Studios, whose work we've covered before.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a cool ass COVID mask.
Or with the black phone. They built the Virgin Mary costume out of resin to give it a statuesque appearance, and also developed various weapons for the movie, like Art's chainsaw and his liquid nitrogen dispenser, dubbed the Freezomatic 3000. Sienna wakes up in the middle of the night and overhears a conversation between her aunt and uncle.
You know what I think we should do to Sienna? I think we should go upstairs and smother her in her sleep.
Then we'd be free.
Turns out it's not really them, just a killer impression by Victoria. The real Uncle Greg has been turned into a nativity nightmare by Art. Hate to see it. Sienna Sidney Prescott's his ass, but then takes a Jill Roberts by God. To put a period on it, Art knocks her out with a mallet. She wakes up tied to a chair across from her Aunt Jess. Art and Victoria have made themselves at home, adorning the tree with Greg's remaining remains. The only person missing is Gabby, and Art's a little too happy about that present on the table. He unwraps it to reveal a rat-infested skinless skull, which Victoria tells Jess are the remains of her daughter. Well, that's not a very good Christmas gift. Thrashing around in the chair for this scene took a toll on Lavera's body. She kept breaking out of her restraint.
He killed her. I don't believe that. Wow.
And he even broke the chair at one point. She also injured her foot when she stepped on a glass ornament that had broken on the floor. Yippee-ki-yay for real. What a trooper. Art gets ready to work his magic on Aunt Jess, leaving her with only enough time to say she loves Sienna and to give her final wish.
Kill them both. Make them suffer.
With that, Art shoves a tube down her throat and hammers it in deep. Victoria proceeds to load it up with rats and, with some blowtorch encouragement, has them crawl down into Jess's throat. What is this movie, dude? A final throat slit lets the furry friends run free, finishing off this modern spin on a medieval classic. I love the old school method of rubber rats on a fishing line they used to achieve this skill. With Sienna sufficiently traumatized, Victoria taunts her and says that she's no savior. But wait, then she gives her JC's crown. Gotta say, Vic, giving mixed signals with the symbolism. Victoria, or rather the demon inside Victoria, intends on breaking Sienna down enough for her to use as a new host. You know, one that still has a face. To help in that regard, she brings in a special guest. It's Gabby, who's revealed to be alive and well. They're alive, at least. But hey, look on the bright side. That isn't Gabby's head on the table. They just wanted her mom to think that before brutally murdering her. It's okay, wait. You know, I can see why this was the scene Thornton
just say what it is. Just fucked up.
Had the most trouble with. He just felt so bad for what Aunt Jess had to go through. With Gabby still alive, we're left wondering who the hell's head that is.
See you soon. Love you.
They killed her brother.
Jonathan! We quickly learn it belongs to Jonathan, who was evidently killed off screen. You know, I almost didn't count this one. I've been burned too many times by fake out deaths. But the way Leone's talked about it in interviews, it seems like it's gonna stick. He said there wasn't
I'm really gonna say that's fucked up. Lord.
To show the kill after the crazy shower sequence, and that he didn't want to see such a likable character get flayed and fed to rats. Fair enough. With most of her family decimated, Sienna should be broken enough for Victoria.
Everything you love is gone. There is no hope. There is no God.
But despite some thriller eyes, Sienna ain't gonna surrender. Man, those eyes look cool though. I seriously love that. Victoria goes to kill Gabby, but the teenager tricks her into letting Sienna have a final gift, the one she saw her cousin hiding earlier. The killers go along with it because, I mean, why not? 'Tis the season after all. I love the way Victoria tosses the gift at Sienna. This movie's full of dark humor like that, including the many moments Art walks by Sienna and casually smacks the back of her head. After Art bashes Sienna's hands in, she opens her gift. I hope she likes it.
Best gift ever.
She does! With Art's throat spewing blood, Sienna chest chucks the sword into Victoria. With a badass one-liner,
Tell me how this tastes.
she stabs Victoria in the mouth before slicing her head clean off. That all might be enough for the secondary villain, but there's still the main event to contend with. Art retrieves his chainsaw and the two duke it out in the kitchen. They disarm each other of their weapons, so Art bites her in the side and to the ground. He very nearly gives Sienna a Texas Chainsaw makeout sesh, but a fistful of his juggling balls convinces him to let her go. Art recovers, but gets his chainsaw stuck in a table, so he resorts to trying to smother Sienna in her uncle's guts. In addition to the smashing table cable stunts, this is one of the few shots that uses Lavera's stunt double Jenna Hellmuth, who also doubled her for a few shots in Terrifier 2. Lavera always wants to do her own stunts, but production didn't want to risk her busting her face open on the pole inside this fake cadaver. Lavera and Hellmuth worked with stunt coordinator Drew Leary for this fight, which also features Bobby McFarlane as Thornton's double for shots that weren't close-ups of Art's face. Sienna manages to get her sword and prepares to make Art a full bob wall decoration. Unfortunately, this whole time, Victoria's head has been melting away, looking like a science fair volcano. Must be filled with xenomorph blood, because it's eaten through the flour. Now, Art's seen the better days. He's killed people with many blades, but the bottom drops out beneath Gabby, sending her down towards a portal into hell. Sienna lets Art go to save her cousin, reaching down with, the sword. Maybe you want to get a fire poker? Oh, okay, she's doing it. Sienna gives an impressive effort, but she's holding on to a sword. Gabby falls and the portal disappears behind her. And great, now Art's vanished too, out into that cold winter night. As Sienna mourns her losses, she discovers her wounds have begun Wolverine healing on their own. With the sequel set up, Sienna vows to rescue her cousin from hell. The movie heads to a bus stop where we catch up with Art. The late night bus is driven by Phil Falcone, who produced all 3 Terrifier films, as well as helped with effects and did a whole bunch of other stuff on set. These are super indie, remember? He's driving a bibliophilic passenger whose book The Ninth Circle refers to the short film where Art made his debut. But he wasn't played by Thornton there, so it feels weird to count it as canon. The bus driver, for some reason, lets Art aboard, and the movie ends with Art squeaking his creepy clown horn. How many chestnuts roasted on this open Terrifier? Let's find.
God knows what's going to be the golden chainsaw. Golden chainsaw, because there's so many candidates for it.
Head out and get to the. What is this? Who's this? Chelsea? Chelsea!
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was you.
Oh. Wait. I know who that is.
Oh, it's Zoran.
Yeah.
Whatever. We counted 23 kills in Terrifier 3. The victims consisted of 15 men, 7 women, and 1 unknown victim in the bomb explosion. That gives us this Terrifier chart, which is unique thanks to the unknown, but if it were a lady, it would match the first hostel, and if it were a dude, it would match the Friday 9 recount. So there you go. With a runtime of 125 minutes, Terrifier 3 had a kill on average every 5.43 minutes. Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill could go to a lot of people.
Exactly.
I'll do the expected thing and give it to Cole. I'm sorry for anyone who wanted a surprise, but I mean, you're seeing his bits flop against a chainsaw blade. That's gonna make a lot of viewers wince and grab their chonies. That kind of physical reaction deserves a reward. Dull Machete for lamest kill will go to Jonathan. The death of such an important character shouldn't leave me wondering if it even happened for real. Like, I get the sentiment behind it, but I think it left a lot of people disappointed. And that's it! Terrifier 3 came out in 2024 and became the highest grossing unrated film of all time. Until next time, I'm James H. Neese. This has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count. Welcome to your last days.
Oh, it's another video game one. Which one is this?
A catastrophic accident has left you and your crew stranded in space. And in space, no one can hear you lose your goddamn mind.
I love who I'm becoming. How about you?
Welcome to your first day working for the Pony Express.
Okay, not sure I'm really interested in this one.
Yay!
The last game one I wasn't too interested in.
This
One too.
video will learn all about 2024's mouthwashing, which sees you leading a crew of blue-collar space truckers.
You know how it is. Pony Express being either cheap or lazy.
It's hard work, but it's nothing some team bonding can't solve.
Surprise!
Take part in a variety of activities, like puzzle solving.
I can't use this here.
And murder! Do not kill your co-workers. And for the love of God, don't lose yourself to this well-written vision of workplace hell.
Will you shut up?
So this week, clock in for a shift of mouthwashing.
Listen. This is the best part.
Then on Friday, celebrate your allotted communal birthday by watching
The Kill Count, only on
Dead Meat.
It's over. End of the fucking line.
Mouthwashing can be played on the pictured gaming platforms. Deviant always recommends you play the game for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly formed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of playing a game.
Thanks a lot for watching this kill count for Terrifier 3. I didn't want to wait till Christmas to do it just because, I mean, everyone's asking for it now. You got to give the people what they want, sometimes, when it fits your plans, and it makes sense for the channel. Don't worry, we still got plenty of other Christmas stuff to look at in December. And also, we'll have some really good stuff to look at later this year. Judging by what's coming out, I mean, we've got Companion, which rules, Hard Eyes had great kills, Final Destination fucking 6, dude! Yeah, can't wait for that one. I finally decided to take all the horror stickers I've collected over the years and put them on my water bottle, but then real estate ran out real fast.
Alright, cool. There you have it, though. So, like I say is, that feels brutal, being with the censor. So I know the uncensored is going to be brutal. But for me to do that with that though, you have to subscribe as well too. Yes, or unless you catch it on the premiere day, and if you did, lucky you. That being said, for now. For those of you who don't want to subscribe, I understand. I mean, don't mean waste money or anything. You watch the cards count on your own, but unless you don't want to see my reaction to it, I know it's going to be gruesome. If you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, it's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love. But if you're willing to subscribe or catch the premiere and stay for the cards count, stay tuned. Anyway, let's get it.